go ahead, and we are rolling.
What's up, everyone? I'm Haley J. We are at Dollylocks Hair Studio, and I'm with owner Alin and Caylin. I love how the names rhyme. So let's dive right into this. You guys describe the hair studio as the leader in professional field of dreadlocks and hair extensions. So aside from your focus with dreadlocks, what about Dollylocks separates it from other salons?
Well, we have a focus of pretty much all community. We cater to all, here I go again. All right, I need to start over, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. You can just edit out and you can pick up from where you
God, that's a really good question.
What was the question again?
Just how your salon separates from others. Like, obviously, like, I'm drawn in by the style, the way you set it up. I feel like that type of environment.
Well, we are very artsy.
And I just also feel like just talking to you guys too, it's like you keep up with the changes of what's in the fashion, the styles, things like that. So someone like me would be more intrigued to go to a place like this when I see that, like, because sometimes you fear when you're with your hairstylist and you show them something, you're like, would they get this? Like, are they on these trends? But you guys seem like you do know what's up to date and you know what someone's trying to tell you, basically.
Well, we are. I mean, we are a high-end salon, and that to me is important for our reputation, but we're not necessarily the highest price salon. We like to cater to the entire St. Pete community, and we do have clients that come from all over, I mean, really the world, to have their hair done here, just because we are so specialized in what we do. But we do provide basic services as well. I shouldn't say basic, but hair color, cuts,
that was
colors.
one of my questions, actually. I was like, so can I just do highlights here if I don't have dreads?
Yeah. I mean, we have a full staff. We do everything from makeup. Caylin is our lead makeup artist here. So, yeah. And we do a lot of editorial and styling. We've done New York Fashion Week. We've done New York Bridal Week. So we do like to stay at the top of the fashion industry.
Because it is changing all the time.
But we're also
recycling.
Exactly, and that is fashion, really. But we also, we're very low key, and we're very just laid back, and the environment is more as if you're getting your hair done at your home.
As it should be, right? When we come to a salon, we want to relax. It's kind of, do you have that experiences where you turn into a therapist, they tell you everything about their life, if you think of a salon as a place to de-stress? So this environment is perfect for that.
Yeah, we're definitely therapists.
And you specialize in all natural products too. Why is it so important to you to use natural products?
Well, just anything that you use on your hair and skin is absorbed into the body, so you want to be really careful and conscious about what types of products that you are using, and also for the environment. When we built this salon, I made sure that I reused, recycled, and repurposed. A lot of the interior that we used in here, the flooring, the walls, everything's been recycled from one way or another, and we're really big into recycling and just preserving the environment. And,
definitely, that's amazing. And you said it was a 15-year span of perfecting the techniques you use now. So because it got to be such a long time, are you still consistently learning as you go?
Oh, sure, everybody is. I mean, you can't
learning every day.
You can't evolve without learning. No. Absolutely.
Just like you said, fashion changes, so we have to change, how we do things here and there.
Keep up with the time.
Yeah, and it's actually been over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I've been saying 15 for like the last
and you're like,
10.
It's actually more now.
I'm gonna add on some years there.
It's like 30 years.
So inform me about dreadlocks, because don't get mad at my perception, but I kind of thought that you hear back and forth of people saying, oh, you can't wash dreadlocks, or if you want to get rid of them, you have to cut your hair. That's the only option. Are those things true, or is there?
No, it's quite the opposite. I mean, in order for dreadlocks to form, because dreadlocks it's compressed matted hair, and as you know, if you let your hair go and it becomes oily. Well, I mean, if the hair gets oily, it can't really lock properly. But if the hair is clean, kind of like when you were a kid and you had like the no more tears spray, the cleaner the hair is, the more that it wants to mat together. So cleansing hair is the first and foremost most important part of dreadlocks. And like I said before, it is compressed matted hair. And did you want to add to that? I'm sorry.
No. I mean, dreadlocks are just mats of hair that are basically formed into what we call dreadlocks. It's a constructed mess. That's pretty much all it is. But your organic products really do help with the locking process and help with the maturity and the care of your dreadlocks in the future.
It's become such an art too. I love when I see people with the beads and different designs. It's like, it looks very cool. I love it.
It's a journey.
And you teach classes. You have a whole training about it. So take me into one of these classes. What's that like?
Well, we have a course online, so you can purchase the course through teachable.com, and it gives you the basics. It shows you how to section, how to back comb, how to do the hook work that we do, and how to tie a base knot or a base tie or a slip knot. And that is your pre-course. So once you master those basic skills, then you would come to the salon, or we could come to you, for just minimal fee. I can't fly for free.
I don't know. I mean, and you're offering a big
But
service.
we do. Well, and we're also backed by a complete organic product line that we do most of the formulation in-house. Some of it's done outside, but we have an organic chemist that we work with locally.
That's amazing too.
We produce
so
all the products. And so we have a full line of organic products that we can back our services and our classes with. And when our clients come in, we can educate them and teach them, and
Right.
I mean, it's a process.
So I have to ask, I was checking out the products, now they're talking about your natural products. What is the blood one? What was I looking at? It's
Dragon's blood.
Dragon's blood.
Yeah.
What's the magic in that bottle?
It's actually Dragon's Blood is another really famous incense. So one of our best sellers is the Nag Champa.
Nag Champa, yeah.
I can never say it right, but it's
They're both-
When you can't pronounce it, it's gotta be
yeah.
Well, they're both more of an incense kind of scent.
Okay.
I mean, Dragon's Blood is, and Nag Champa as well. They are both oils, but they're very expensive in a pure form.
And it's a tightening spray, right? So how often do you have to use that to?
I mean, you could use it every day. I mean, everything in moderation, of course. But I had dreadlocks off and on up until 3 months ago, and I would use it, twice a week probably. But everyone's different. I mean, some people love the scent of it, so they'll use it every day.
So you don't have dreadlocks anymore. Do you miss them? Does it feel weird to not have it?
I've had them for 2 decades.
Oh, wow.
And off and on. And it's a love-hate, because I absolutely love them. I love everything about them. The only thing for me is that I'm really active and I love to swim, and when summertime comes around, it's, I want to be in the water and I want to play, and with dreadlocks, they're, because it is compressed matted hair, it's almost like a sponge. So when you...
Picking up all of those things that you're doing.
If you ask anyone that has dreadlocks how often they wash their hair, they'll probably be like, because it's a whole process, because when the hair gets wet, you have to make sure that it dries, because you don't want to leave, wet hair or wet.
And you talk about
moisture and wet
the
hair.
maintenance in your classes. That was something I had no idea about, because I feel like a lot of people would get dreadlocks thinking that, I don't have to put in much maintenance. So what does that maintenance require?
It's a lot of work. I mean, dreadlocks, people think when they come in here that, I'm just going to get dreadlocks and do nothing. That's definitely not how it goes. It's about the same amount of work as having brushable hair. It's just totally flip-flopped. So maintenance, basically what we're doing is we're taking the new growth, which usually our clients will come and see us every 3 to 4 months. That's usually standard. And we'll take the new growth and crochet the loose hair back inside of the dreadlock.
Okay. Do you have a lot of people that don't really do the maintenance correctly? Are most of your clients people that are asking you to fix something or repairing anything like that?
Mixture.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a lot of people who, have done at-home maintenance or at-home dreadlocks where they just started from the beginning, and it doesn't really turn out that well half the time. But that's why we're here. We basically educate people and teach people about dreadlocks, because there's not a lot of education out there.
And this leads me to, I did not know professional dreadlocks was a term. So what's the difference between, I actually had friends that tried to create dreadlocks too, and they use like a bumblebee wax or something. Would that be an example of an unprofessional dread?
Well, we do not use beeswax, because beeswax is not water soluble. The only products that we use are water soluble, which basically means that it'll wash out of the hair. Because like I said before, dreadlocks are compressed matted hair, so the last thing you want to do is put something on it that you can't wash out. It doesn't make any sense.
And do you have to cut them if you decide you don't want them?
No, I've...
Would it just go along, kind of like
This
if your
one.
hair gotta go slowly?
The last time I actually combed mine out, it took 4 of us 10 hours to do it.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So
I
it's a
wasn't there for
process.
that day, thank God. That was a good day for me.
Yeah.
So that,
But that is nice
And it
to
does,
know
you know,
that
and
you
it's,
have
and
that
it's-
option.
You
if
have that option, but this last time that I took mine out, I cut it, so it was, you know, it was a few months ago, so.
Do you feel like a new person? I would imagine it's such a different feel after all that time.
It is, but like I said, I mean, it's a love-hate. Like I miss them all the time. It's for me, it's a hairstyle. I wish I could just put it on every day and take it off every night, but unfortunately, it's not quite that
Yeah,
easy.
it really is a journey. That's one of the
It
things I
is.
was reading about. You educate people through their journey. So what's the coolest, or does anyone have fun stories of how or why they wanted dreadlocks, or have you inspired anyone to get them yourself?
Well, I think that everyone has their own story. I mean, for some people it can be a religious experience, and for other people it can just be a hairstyle. It can, there's synthetic dreadlocks, there's human hair dreadlocks, there's wool. I mean, there's a lot of different fibers that you can put in the hair, so it can be permanent or it can be temporary.
Okay.
Just depending upon what kind of look you're going for. But I mean, to me, for me, because I'm coming from a hairdresser background and an artist background, I believe that, you know, dreadlocks, you know, can be for everyone and anyone, as long as, you know, they have a love and a passion for it. Because like Caylin was saying, you know, it's not something that you just want to let go. I mean, you have to put a little bit of work into it in order to maintain it. You know, just as your hair grows out, everyone's hair grows approximately, you know, a quarter to a half inch per month. So as you have that new growth that's coming out, you also have shedded hair. So the shedded hair is going to stay into the dreadlock because you're not brushing it,
Right.
and the new growth is going to happen. And so what happens is you get these crosshairs, so the dreadlocks will start to grow together. So you always want to make sure that you're doing some type of maintenance with the
It
hair.
almost seems harder than having, you know, it's like
Sometimes.
you're really committing to your
depends
stuff.
on, you know.
I love that though. It's such a form of expression in a completely different way, and I feel
Yeah.
that can make someone's look. So if you want that look, just like anything else, you're gonna maintain it the way you'd want it to be.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we tell people all the time. It just
Yeah.
depends upon their end result and what look they're going for. If you don't mind it being a little messy and organic, you know, you could come in and get a professional maintenance every 6 to 12 months if you really wanted to. But we have a lot of professionals that wear dreadlocks as well that, you know, they'll come in every 2 to 3 months because they do, you know, they work in the healthcare, you know, field, or, you know, they're attorneys.
Lawyers,
We have,
doctors.
Yeah.
We have so many different people from so many different backgrounds and
love
jobs.
that.
So it's not just for those hippies at the beach.
Right, you guys
It's-
are educating and changing the perception, just like the way people are stopping judging people with tattoos and things like
Yeah.
that. It's kind of in that same spectrum where that
It's-
doesn't define
yeah.
who you are. This is how you.
it's,
They just want to come and see you all.
well, that too. We're a lot of fun.
It's such a cool
Yeah.
environment. I
It's
really-
true.
And she said you decorated this whole thing yourself.
I did.
So not only are you.
I built this in 3 months.
That's
I don't
amazing.
even know how I did it.
I love that. I love that.
I painted a wall. That was
Yeah.
about all I did. So.
Well, I mean, everything looks great. And then I was going to ask you, obviously, being in this profession is competitive. There's a lot of stylists, but tell me the start for both of you. What was it that really made you so invested, and then how did that transition to really focusing on dreadlocks?
Well, for me, I got into, I didn't know, I mean, it sounds kind of silly in hindsight, but I didn't even know that you had to actually have a license to do hair back when I was licensed. And that was
Like, I just
back
love
in
it.
1993 when I got my license. But a friend of mine that I got into high school with, she's like, I'm going to hair school. And I was like, that sounds like fun, you know, because I wasn't really doing anything
Yeah.
anyway. So that's how I ended up getting my cosmetology license. But over the years, I, you know, bounced back and forth between salons, and I traveled a lot, you know, just trying to find where I wanted to be. And ironically, I dated someone, this was a long time, this is way before like Google, or you couldn't Google anything, like how do I do dreadlocks? Like it didn't even exist.
No YouTube tutorial out
And there was
there.
nothing, and he, you know, was a Caucasian male, and he was putting beeswax in his hair, and it stunk so bad. And so I just wanted, I wanted him to be able to express himself with having the hairstyle that he wanted.
There's gotta be a better
but
way
there's
to
got to be
go
a better
about
way. So that's how I kind of
That's
got
very
into
cool.
it. And then, you know, it's a long story. I mean, it would take like an hour to tell you the
So
whole
really,
story.
it was you wanted to help someone else in your life that you saw, so that kind of
Exactly.
sparked that.
And that's how it started,
Cool. It's
and
not
then it
what
just
I
evolved from
was
there.
expecting you to say.
I know. And then I ended up in New York City, and that's where Dollylocks was born. And I brought Dollylocks from New York City here to St. Pete. And then Caylin was actually a client of ours, and she was doing piercing. She was doing an apprentice for piercing.
I was doing tattoos and piercings
when she was in high school.
Wow,
Yeah.
And
impressive.
I know. And then I just said that I was looking for someone, so she started going to hair school when she was still in high school.
I'm just like over here trying to pass
know.
algebra.
I was doing both actually. I was trying to pass algebra and do hair school.
Right, that's really awesome.
Yeah. No, it just mine basically just kind of came from again, I was always really into art. Art was mainly that was my field. I started doing tattoos and piercings at a really early age, and then I kind of figured out that wasn't for me. It's not, it's very scary. So I kind of moved into my editorial and makeup field. And that was pretty much where I kind of took off with that and discovered that I really loved the cosmetology field. And then, of course, dreadlocks came in at such a big part of my life because of Alin, obviously. But it was definitely, I had family members that had dreadlocks, and so it was something that was always in my life. But definitely, I took the big leap of making that a huge career with me while joining Dollylocks. So,
And obviously it's been a good fit so far.
It has been. I mean, she's been my right-hand girl for, 4 years now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about
At
4
least.
years.
if
You made
not
the
more.
transition from New York to St. Pete. What do you envision for the future?
Oh, I'm going to retire.
Not yet, please.
No, really. I mean, right now the product line is my main focus. I've trained a few girls how to do my craft. As far as the technique that we use to create dreadlocks, which is the professional organic dreadlocking system, which is a professional product that I've patented in the UK, and we do teach it and we train how to use it. The girls are trained in that, and then dreadlock extensions, and I also specialize in hair extensions, like brushable hair extensions. So we have Tyler here at the salon that he has become my apprentice for the hair extensions, and so I'm kind of, I'm not gonna say I'm old, but I've been doing hair for a really long time,
You perfected
and so
the
I'm
craft.
and I love business. I mean, I love art and I love business, but for me. I'm pushing the business more for the girls and expanding the craft of
Would you
dreadlocks.
like to
at
see
this
another
stage.
store open?
Would I open another salon? Absolutely not.
No. I didn't think about that one. Didn't think.
No, I love hair, and
Do you know how much work this is?
all I'm gonna say, and if anybody is watching this, it's a hairdresser. I'm gonna say that hairdressers are their own breed, and and it's
It's a different
really
world.
it's difficult. And my hat and my heart goes out to anyone that has a salon with over 15 hairdressers. It's
rough.
it is rough because I'm very laid back and I'm very easygoing, but I'm